All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Icon, issue number 3 from DC Comics and Milestone. And I must say, after reading this comic, I think Icon might become one of my, favorite black superheroes. I like this character very much. So I hope the rest of the series will be good too. So I'm gonna, do a couple of more, see where this is going. But this storyline ends here, so we'll see what this is going from now on. I mean, I cannot do 20 or 50 issues from one character. That's not how my channel is built, and probably people, wouldn't like that either, but just that is an assumption. So let me in the comments below if you actually want to see more of a specific series or character. We can always try it anyway. Without further ado, we see a recap what happens in the last issue. So this mayor here called Thomasina Jefferson. Is that a real name, Thomasina, or is this just a made-up name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, and she's being held hostage by terrorists, and a guy called, I don't know, what's his name? Kevin. He transformed into this monster, and he's now facing off Icon and Rocket. Looks great. So the mayor says, Kevin, whatever happened to you? You got to let us help you. So he picks up this piece of furniture on this desk and smashes into Icon, right? So what did you do, says Rocket. So Icon stands up and he says, this has gone far enough. And but then he slashes him open, and he's pretty surprised because this has never happened before. So how's this possible, right? And So this creature called himself Payback. My business is with the major, little girl. If you leave now, you won't have like your friend. I'm taking my friend to the hospital. You may want to catch a ride with me. You could use a doctor yourself. I like the shot here. She's using this, I don't know, kinetic force field. I believe that's what her mechanical power is. I also like that he's just falling back and, out of balance, and this wall is cracked. And then he attacks and smashes her through the wall, and the wall is also crumbling and then pushes outside. Really well done. And then she is also pushing back because, I don't know, she's now being charged up because of the kinetic energy. Well done. So he says, this is pointless. I'm come here for a confession, not for a fight. So he flees, right? And he says, Icon, I'm fine, Rocket. I just need a moment to catch my breath. Sure, and out of a bazillion stitches. And so this creature falls down, escapes, right? So he says, keep him inside, Rocket, but don't engage him. I follow in a moment. But then she says that she is, going to deal with him himself. So not really listening to Icon. She is a rebellious streak. So the major comes in and says, you saved my life. Perhaps, I'm not sure he intended to kill you. He had ample opportunity to do that if he so desired. The wounds on your chest, they almost healed. Not really, it'll take several days for me to fully recover from a wound of this severity. Several days? Who are you people? What's going on here? I'm Icon, I'm here to help. But then some terrorist comes here and says, hey, you guys need some help, right? So this creature tried to get out, rips open the streets, and he, falling into the sewers, I guess, and Rocket follows him, right? And but she barely has any light, so she's using, I don't know, other light sources. So she expands her force field so that she cannot get wet of this, nasty sewer water, I guess, right? And but then this creature comes out and says, "Arr!" Meanwhile, this terrorist says, "Step away from the major, hero man. I'm tired. I'm injured. I have a very rough day. So I think it would be best if you and your men gave yourselves up before I lose my temper." Lose your temper? Kill the punk. But, he's a superhero. I warn you, my chest is still very tender. All right, so he's just dealing with these guys. And he says, hey, Major, just step back and let me take care of it. And he's beating them with an inch of their lives, I guess. Right? So he comes back. Look at this cape, man. Right? So he brings her outside and everybody's clapping, right? And But then this is probably the thing that I don't like. So it seems that Rocket beat this monster guy somehow. I don't know why. We didn't see it yet. So he says, I give up. And he says, before you take me in, don't you want to know why we did this? Not particularly, he says. Who's this? Is this Arsenal? I don't know. You saw what I was before. You don't want to know what did this to me? It was the tear gas, the gas that Major ordered the police to use. She wanted to prove she was tough on crime. So when she heard about this Big Bang, she ordered the heaviest police strike force in the city's history. I was on a personal staff. I begged her not to go through it. I begged her not to test the experimental tear gas under those conditions. She overruled me. I went to Paris Island to try and warn whoever I could. I was there when the gas fell. That's what killed those kids, you know. Not the rioting. And those it didn't kill, it turned into creatures like me. So he says, I heard mercenaries and, you know, make the Major talk and confess. But then we showed up and wrecked your plan. Now she says something weird. Why don't you just take off? I pretend I couldn't find you. Who have to know? Well, Icon is here and he knows, right? He says, oh, how long did you are just standing there? He says, long enough to hear Mr. Franklin's story. If you're willing to give yourself up to the authorities, I'll see that there is a full investigation on the Big Bang incident. And whoever is responsible will pay for their crimes in full. You have my word. So he says, well, I don't know, man. I'll go for it, says Rocket. Otherwise, we have to rough you up some more. So this creature is now being captured by the cops, right? And bring into justice. And then the last thing we're going to see is that Icon is here, is giving them the key to the city, and he's giving a big speech about that, you know, he's trying to do his best to help the people and also, you know, inspiring people, right? And everybody's cheering and clapping for him. Really like this image here. But then a little bit later, so he goes to this bridge. How do you think it went? Are you serious? You want to run for Major? Well, we have taken a positive first step, but we still have a very long way to go. And then he says, of course, you will be doing most of your work from the sidelines from now on. He says, why? I have proof I can hold my own. I don't remember me lying on the floor bleeding. I didn't mean to imply you couldn't. I just meant that someone in your condition. What condition? So he says, you're pregnant, Raquel. You're going to have a baby. She's still a teenager, I guess. Right. Mama's gonna kill me. That's the next one. Now, another criticism that I have is that she wants to let this criminal go. So if Icon wasn't here, she would got away with it. So, and he didn't discipline her for, you know, letting criminals go. So that's another point that I want to point out. That came out a little bit wrong. Anyway, yeah, I'm liking the series a lot. There's a lot of things here that, you know, connects with people, and you know, stories are fun, coloring is fun, art is great. Yeah, recommending to those who are maybe interested in Icon. For now, I'm leaving it here. We're gonna pick up maybe some new episodes, issue 4 in the future. We will see. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.